busy.
Nag-traction ako,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you for giving me this honor
Oh, of
and
course.
privilege to meet you.
Yes,
Again.
I'm honored.
No, thank you. Thank you. I took the liberty of bringing to you 3 books.
Yes, sir.
Iba pang balita, hawak na ni Senador Tito Soto ang dalawang reklamo laban kay Senador Antonio Trillanes IV na isinampa ng isang individual. Kabilang sa isinampang reklamo laban kay Trillanes sa Senate Ethics Committee na pinamumunuan ni Soto ay ang alegasyon nitong tumanggap ng suhol ang dalawang huwes ng Court of Appeals para pigilan ng suspension order laban kay dating Makati City Mayor Junjun Binay at ang pagtawag ni Trillanes kay Pangulong Duterte na mamamatay tao. Ang reklamo laban kay Trillanes ay isinampa ng isang Abelardo de Jesus na siya ring nagsampa ng reklamo laban kay Senador Laila de Lima. Una nang pinag-aralan ng Office of the Solicitor General na sampahan ng kaso si Trillanes dahil sa pagkakanlong nito kay SPO3 Arthur Las Cañas. At yan po naman ang aming mga nakalap na balita at impormasyon para sa PTV Newsbreak. Ako po si Audrey Goriseta.
Meanwhile, the death penalty is being restored by the administration allies at the House of Representatives. Let's hear the latest from Jervis Manahan. Jervis?
Despite some opposition from several lawmakers, the majority approved the imposition of capital punishment via a voice vote. Prior to its approval, it has been a lengthy period of amendments here in the Batasang Pambansa. Congressman Ed Salagman insisted that the maximum penalty should just be lowered to death, from death to reclusion perpetual. However, Justice Committee Chairman Ray Umali pushed for an omnibus rejection to all amendments, proposing the abolition of death as maximum penalty as it defeats the purpose of the bill. After a series of amendments, most of which were rejected by the sponsor, anti-death penalty Congressman Atienza and Lagman said they must have another round of roll call in the belief that they have already lost the quorum. Majority Leader Rudy Fariñas agreed to this, but threatened to terminate the period of amendments after. 227 congressmen responded to the second roll call, and the measure was eventually passed. The bill is now up for third reading, hopefully by next week. Results of the second reading vote is not usually overturned during the third reading, as the final reading is mostly ceremonial. However, the House version must have to wait for the Senate version before they can ratify it and have it signed by the President. Anti-death penalty congressmen said they will still exhaust some measures leading to the third reading. Buhay Party List Congressman Lito Atienza laments that the bill has been mostly railroaded, but they have options to explore. We're yet to hear from House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez regarding this matter. And that's the latest news from the Batasang Pambansa. Back to you, Charles.
Paris Agreement sa climate change na nagsusulong sa paggamit ng renewable energy. Nilagdaan na ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte.
Posibleng bumuo ng subcommittee sa Senado upang tutugan ang mga hakbang ng Pilipinas hinggil sa climate change. May ulat si Sweden Velado.
Pirmado na ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang Instrument of Accession para sa Paris Agreement na layong bawasan ng mga bansang kasapi sa kasunduan ang kanilang greenhouse gas emissions at isulong ang paggamit ng renewable energy. Matatandaang makailang ulit sinabi noon ng Pangulo na hindi niya kikilalanin ang Paris Agreement sa paniniwalang hindi ito makatutulong sa pag-unlad ng ekonomiya ng bansa. Subalit sa bandang huli ay nilagdaan din ang kasunduan matapos bumoto ang mga miyembro ng gabinete para paboran ang ratifikasyon nito. Ikinatuwa naman ito ni Senador Loren Legarda na personal na tinanggap ang nilagdaang dokumento sa kanyang tanggapan sa Senado mula kay Senior Deputy Executive Secretary Maynard Guevara.
I'd like to thank the President for joining us in the call for climate justice, for feeling for the millions of climate refugees.
Si Legarda na kasalukuyang pinuno ng Senate Committee on Climate Change at United Nations Global Champion for Resilience ang personal na tumawag sa bawat pinuno ng mga ahensya ng pamahalaan para magsumite ng Certificates of Concurrence o COCs at kumausap maging sa economic team ni Pangulong Duterte para matiyak na mararatipikahan ang nasabing kasunduan. Posible namang bumuo ng isang subcommittee ang Senate Committee on Foreign Relations na pamumunuan ni Legarda para tumutok sa mga usaping may kinalaman sa mga hakbang ng Pilipinas hinggil sa climate change.
I hope that before Earth Day on April 25, we would have concurred in the ratification, so the whole process would have been completed. And that means when we adjourn by middle of March, we have completed the process of ratification. I hope.
Para sa PTV News, Sweden, Velado.
Iginit ni Senate Committee on Justice Chairman Richard Gordon na hindi tamang ikumpara ang muling pagbubukas ng kaso ng Mama Sapano Massacre sa investigasyon kay retired SPO3 Arthur Las Cañas. Ito ba'y sinabi ng mambabatas matapos siyang bisitahin sa kanyang opisina ng mga pamilya ng SAF 44 upang hingin na muling buksan ang investigasyon sa madugong engkwentro noong 2015. Ayon kay Gordon, initulad sa investigasyon sa testimonya ni Las Cañas, ang investigasyon ng Mama Sapano ay layong makamit ang hustisya. Handa naman si Gordon na buksang muli ang kaso at nais niya ring imbitahan sa investigasyon si dating Pangulong Noynoy Aquino.
Sa ibang balita, ipresenta ni Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, Secretary Jesus Dureza, kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kahapon ang 8 taong gulang na nabihag ng Abu Sayyaf Group na pinakawalan kamakailan. Sa kanyang pagharap rin sa media, nagpaabot pa ng paumanhin ng Pangulo sa pamahalaan ng Germany kaugnay sa pagkamatay ng kanilang kababayan na si Jürgen Kantner sa kamay ng Abu Sayyaf. Nagbabalik ang aming kasamang si Rocky Ignacio.
Nagpaabot ng paumanhin si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa pamahalaan ng Germany at sa mamayan nito sa sinapit ni Jürgen Gustavo Kantner sa kamay ng bandidong Abu Sayyaf. Sa interview ng media sa Malacanang, ipinaabot na rin ng Pangulo ang pakikiramay sa pamilya ni Kantner.
Well, yes, correctly said. I am very sorry that the hostage or a national of your country has been beheaded. I sympathize with the family. I commiserate with the German people. But I said we tried. There's a massive operation now going on. And as I have just announced to you, we're beginning to use their assets. I would like to say something to the family and to the government that we really tried our best. We have been there, the military operation has been going on for some time already. And, but we have failed, and so that has to be admitted. There's nothing wrong in admitting a failure. But it's a matter of policy that we do not surrender to the demands of paying ransom.
Tiniyak naman ng Pangulo na hindi hihinto ang pamahalaan para mapigilan ang banta sa kaligtasan ng mamamayan ng banditong grupo. Ayon kay Dureza, sa kasalukuyan na may mahigit 20 pang bihag ang Abu Sayyaf. Iginit muli ng Pangulo ang no ransom policy ng gobyerno. Ipinaliwanag pa nito na mahalagang aspeto para sa tunay na kapayapaan ng Mindanao ang pagpapatupad ng federalismo.
Secretary Dureza, Governor Sacor, his son was also the governor for a humanitarian job. Yun namang mga ulama who adopted the boy, and of course the armed men there. Thank you this time for treating a human being just like a human being. But for the rest of the yung hostages doon, medyo they still have a lot of work to do. It's all money and convincing. We have Noro on our side. Maybe that's why Secretary Dureza was a bit successful this time. But I hope this would continue, and there's no other way to do it except there's a military operation going on. And I would like to assure everybody that for as long as there is the violence being perpetrated, the Republic of the Philippines will continue to with its military operations. Pero lahat to, and any time that they would declare maybe reintegration or ceasefire, or they would want a realization of the dreams for the Moro Mindanao. I have time and again reiterated also my desire to adopt a federal system in obedience to their prayers for a long time. Historically, even before the arrival of the Christians, Mindanao was already Islam.
Sa kabila naman nito, ligtas na napalaya ang 8 taong gulang na bata na si Rexon Romok na dinukot kasama ang kanyang mga magulang na sina Elmer at Nora sa Zamboanga, Sibugay noong August 5, 2016. Sa Patikul Sulu na rescue ang bata kahapon sa tulong ng militar, lokal na opisyal at Moro National Liberation Front o MNLF. Kasama si Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process Jesus Dureza, dinala nito ang bata kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Sa kwento nito, naging errand boy ito ng banditong grupo. Nagpaabot na rin ng tulong ang pamahalaan sa pamilya. Pinasalamatan naman ang mag-asawang Pangulo sa pagbabalik na ligtas ng kanilang anak.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa sa buong may kapal at saka kay President salamat. Maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat po. Salamat sa mga opisyal ng
nagpasalamat po kami kay mahal na presidente at sa kanyang sekretary si Sekretary Dureza at saka sa gobernador ng Hulo, si Abdul Sakur Tan at si Toto Tan. Dahil sa kanila, nabalik yung bata namin sa amin. Salamat po sa lahat.
Para sa PTV News, Rocky Ignacio.